Awesome out for my morning walk. Heard the announcement. Yes, I'm coming back. July, I'm going to do a few shows. I'm going to slowly but surely get back into the hang of doing this. So, right now, I have been spending the few days that I have left in this month trying to get everything prepared because I am coming back with a vengeance. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on. Do y'all want me to start off with the good news first or the bad news? I think I'm gonna start off with the good news. Shout outs to Zoran. Shout outs to New York City, where my colleague Now's the Time is. There was a New York City rent freeze. Rent Guidelines Board just approved a rent freeze on 1 and 2 year leases. Zoran Mandani campaigned for the New Yorkers to share their testimonies. Now that is what you call working for the people. Right now, we're under a tyrannical government that is not working for the people. They're working for the 1%. That means the billionaires, the millionaires, all of the people that are his close friends and associates. Okay, so shout outs to Zoran for that. That's the good news. Now let's get to the fuck shit. 4 million Americans have lost their health care coverage. Prices are going to rise due to the ACA subsidies expiring. Didn't I keep telling y'all that Republicans refused to negotiate to extend the Affordable Care Act subsidies? And Democrats sitting up here, they got a backdoor deal saying that, oh, we can negotiate with them. Mike Johnson said, what negotiation? I don't know anything about a negotiation. So what are y'all talking about? Give me 1 sec, y'all. Hold on 1 minute. I'll put y'all down for a minute. Oh, hey, set my purse right here. There we are. I'm coming. And we're back. Yeah, Mike Johnson said negotiation. What negotiation? We didn't say anything about a negotiation. So that means, and shout outs to my colleague again, Conscious TV, my husband, already warned you what's going to happen. That means that your healthcare premiums are going to skyrocket by the end of this year. That's what that means. And this is all because the voters who voted for the Orange Piggy didn't know that the Affordable Care Act and Obamacare were the same thing. They did not read and do their research. Not just that, but Republicans have been trying to get rid of Obamacare ever since the man left office. Ever since the man left office. Speaking of infatuation, did y'all see what this dipshit posted yesterday? A picture of his young self near a picture of President Obama. Give it up. You don't measure up to this man. You will never measure up to this man. This man gave you a great economy, and he is living rent-free in your head. You are obsessed with President Obama, and that really needs to be studied. I mean, the infatuation is baffling to me. Not just that, but let's talk about what else he said. He wants to end the separation of church and state. They want to place the 10 Commandments back in the classroom. Let's see what else he did. He sued BBC for $10 billion, but now the BBC wants phone logs, his private schedules, daily diaries, communications from November 2020 through January 20th, 2021. What happened on January of 2021? Yeah. We haven't forgot. So as much as y'all can try to white, which we'll get into in a minute, let's talk about white Christian nationalism for a second here. When they say they want a state where it's Christian, we know what y'all mean by that. The targeting of marginalized groups. The adherence is frequently linked with heightened anti-Black sentiments, anti-immigrant anecdotes, and also hostility towards the LGBTQ plus community, us, to justify systemic discrimination and restriction of reproductive rights. I read to y'all yesterday a story of a woman out of Texas who sued in Texas because they denied her life-saving care. To push to legislate Christian morality into public policy, and it has fueled extensive censorship, leading to the whitewashing of American history from banning books regarding racial or gender diversity. Christian nationalists do not call themselves that by name. Remember that. And they do not work from a shared group. Changing school curriculum, as you can see right now, where they're wanting to bring back reading the Bible in Texas. Hell no. And as the caption of my live this morning says, we don't have to respect the president because he's not a president, he's a fascist. And it's time that we start calling Donald Trump what he is. This is not an administration, this is a regime. They're pushing for anti-immigrant policies. What did the Supreme Court just do? They took away temporary statuses from Haitian Americans. 350,000 of them, by the way. So how's this making America great again? It's not. It's making America great for white, rich people. White, rich, Christian males. So since y'all are so interested in making sure that the children are protected and that this is a good Christian nation, how about some common sense GUN reform instead of thoughts and prayers? How about giving women their bodily autonomy back? How about leaving queer people and Black people the fuck alone? That's what you can do to make America great again. Since y'all want to say, oh, you know, it's an abomination, it's a sin. The real sin is that you have a 34-time convicted felon, twice impeached, 6-time failed businessman who is fucking up our country. Let's talk about his so-called state fair. Melted ice cream, a broken Ferris wheel. He's got his face on the U.S. passport. By the way, that's being funded and backed by us. We're paying for that. The $60 million monstrosity that took place on the White House lawn that took up all of the goddamn grass off the White House lawn. Yeah. We're footing the bill for that. $400 billion to go to Iran. And guess what? They get to keep their nuclear because this man does not know how to negotiate. Art of the deal, art of the failed business deal. Clearing the path for $1 billion. $1 billion a day for this goddamn water we didn't even ask for. And it should not ever have to be like this. People are having to ration out their medications. Ooh. People are literally having to sacrifice the food on their tables, their medications, because the cost of living has went up under this regime. No, we're not great. And I don't know how long this is going to continue to keep going on, but it's going to get worse by the day. So, to anybody out here, I still see that some of his red hat supporters that support him are out here saying, well, you know, us going to Iran was a good thing. Us going to war with Iran was a good thing. No, it's not. It's making it expensive for us. In one of my lives, I showed y'all how much gas is down here in South Carolina. Y'all are still going on about the tariffs because y'all could not vote for the black woman. And it's a crying shame that y'all have so much bigotry and hatred in y'all's hearts that you would go on a voting booth and you would vote against your own goddamn interests. And in Texas, now y'all need the black vote. We're not voting for Tallarico. I'm not even in Texas. We don't fucks with Tallarico like that. Hadn't yet come out and made not near a single damn statement about his supporters being racist to Jasmine Crockett. Save your apologies. They're not needed. I can tell you this, whenever we're on the other side and we're past this shit, the next person, the next elected president or whoever is in office, first thing smoking, just like when Biden got in and rescued from a pandemic, let's not forget, since y'all love to bring Biden into it, Biden is not responsible for this shit. He inherited two great economies from Biden and Obama. And he's so infatuated with President Obama, it doesn't make any sense. And he's right. He has a suite living inside his head. First day he got in office, the first thing he did was try to point the finger. Biden did it. But what about Obama? No. They're not president anymore. This is your economy. They gave you two good economies. And you fucked it up because you were willing to help the 1%. You were willing to help the uber wealthy. You were willing to help the rich. Elon Musk is a trillionaire. Yeah. Elon Musk is a trillionaire. And the rest of us, like myself, we still haven't found a home. Housing affordability? What's that? Because guess what? He held it hostage because Republicans would not sign his SAVE Act into law. And what that would do is disenfranchise voters. And you know which voters we're talking about, right? Women, black people. I mean, y'all are already redistricting, have already redistricted. You tried to pull it in Texas and it backfired on you, Brian Kemp. I mean, in Georgia. Excuse me. Tried to pull that shit in Georgia and it didn't work out the way you thought it was going to work out. But Jasmine Crockett said to revolt. Black people, we are tired. And it's called black fatigue for a reason. Because we are mentally drained. And they don't care about our suffering. They get off on our suffering. I mean, white Christian nationalism is a sickness. Racism is a sickness, and it is expensive. And it's not just harming the people that you hate, but in return, you're not getting anything from this man. So no, I will not be respecting the president. And in fact, every chance I get, I'm going to roast the fuck out of him. Every chance I get. Because all of this could have easily been avoided had everybody would have voted for Kamala. Because, see, she wouldn't do half of the shit that Donald Trump is doing right now. But see, y'all saw black and y'all saw woman. And y'all said, no, we're going to vote for the unqualified man again. We saw what he did the first term. This time, he surrounded himself with loyalists. And you got the Texas Lieutenant Governor, Dan Patrick, saying Oh, that's not in the Constitution about church versus state. Yes, the fuck it is. Stop lying. Stop playing in our goddamn face. Do not allow them to gaslight you. We know what the Constitution states, and they're tearing up the Constitution right in front of our very eyes in real time. We are now a white Christian nationalist state that has gone rogue. They don't care about the laws. They don't care about the people that they're hurting. Even outside of Delaney Hall, ICE agents are arresting protesters. It's just like every day we turn on the news or scroll down our social media, it's something with this regime. So black people, we're going to be uneasy. We always going to have to keep our heads on swivel for survival mode. Because just think about it. If they can take away people's protective status from Haitian Americans, what do you think they're going to do with American-born Black Americans? What do you think they're going to do with the rest of us? They've already talked about, and it's been called a hot mic, institutionalizing people with mental illness or disabled people. They've already talked about that. They did the same shit in Nazi Germany. But see, shout outs to Christine Talks. She put us up on game. See, they went to Hungary and they studied Viktor Orban and how he's ruling with an iron thumb. He kept a copy of Mein Kampf on his nightside bedstand. And that's according to one of his first wives, Piggy. Yeah. 7:20. So we should make it back now 7:30. I know my brother wanted something from the store, go back home, shower, and just try to continue to keep getting things together for my return, because I will be back. It's not the same without my voice here. Something tragic happened that was out of my control, but I'm still going. Still haven't given up on hunting for a home. Right now, I have a roof over my head. I'm with my brother. My mom and dad are okay. Our pet is okay. I have the luxury of being able to go to and from where I need to go. And I'm not afraid to ask for help when I need it. If you guys want to help me rebuild, you can donate to that Cash App below. $ Boss Queen. And it's just exactly as how it's spelled. I appreciate each and every one of you for reaching out to me. This journey has not been easy. I have my days when I'm up, and then I have my days when I'm down. And when I turn it off and I message you guys back, I still feel a sense of loneliness. I still feel a sense of not belonging. But something greater is coming. I know it. But yes, you guys have my number. You can reach out. You can contact via email, not via email, Instagram. And I love the new feature here on YouTube where you can also message here as well too. Boom. So I like that. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure all of your notifications are on. Select all, the first option, so you will get all of the notifications. It's so many gnats, y'all. My God. It's these little trees out here on the track where I'm walking. But yes, that's all I have for this morning's update. Other than, oh, let's talk about the American 250 celebration. It failed. It didn't happen. My God. My God today. Oh, and Bill Maher had a conversation with Couchfucker Vance saying that we need to stop, they need to stop screaming. That's what I'm saying. Bill Maher does the same thing that Charlemagne does, which is, and he did it during the election, which is, hey, we're going to be critical of one person, But the person who's not causing the harm, we're going to be critical of them the most. And that's what Bill Maher is doing now. Damn, these flies is next. But yeah, he'll say one good thing one day, and then the next he'll go and he'll pull the shit that he pulled just recently. He was critiquing President Obama and his presidential center. Yeah, it's one thing to have your commentary, but when your commentary is deeply rooted in racism and bigotry, that's where it becomes a problem. And we here as Black people have every single goddamn right to push back and say, we don't like it, it's racist. Every single right. So be careful with Bill Maher, because one minute you go wherever the pendulum swings. You're no different than Brian Kemp in Georgia. And I cannot stand a both sides ass person. I truly can't. Y'all are half of the reason why Kamala didn't win. And it's two particular individuals that's in our friend circle. I'm not gonna call no names. One said they don't believe in abortion. The other got up here and was listening to the lies about Jasmine Crockett taking money from AIPAC. She came out. There's no proof of that. But we know who we do have money, someone who is getting money from AIPAC, and that's James Talarico. This individual went on their platform and did a whole video saying this is why Crockett lost. The other individual, I went and I checked their video, and this individual said, hey, I don't believe in abortion. Well, guess what? I do. I believe that a woman should have the right to her body. And as a woman yourself saying this, it's not right. Because you're no different than the white women who voted along with their husband because of patriarchy. There's a whole commercial out here saying, white women, your husband do not have to know your vote. But see, they chose white privilege over the better equality for all. See, I'm a part of the 92%, and when I voted, I wanted to make sure that everybody gets theirs, period. Everybody get what they need. Equal health care, universal health care. Now you ain't gonna be able to afford that. 4 million people, 4 million Americans lost their health care because Republicans refused to negotiate extending the Affordable Care Act subsidies, which I talked about with Coach D Speaks. You guys can go and check that show out. A lot of my shows, I was spot on with everything. There's no debate, there's no discussion about it. But to those two individuals, I see you, and I'm just going to distance myself away from you. Because now I know exactly what it is. I just hope the rest of my colleagues catch on to it too. Because that's the reason why we're in the midst of the shit we're in right now. Because you don't believe in other women having their bodily autonomy because of your Christian values and beliefs. When I just read to y'all a story yesterday about a woman being denied health care in Texas. And now she's suing the state of Texas. And rightfully so. Black women are being denied life-saving health care. And as a result of that, it's a recipe for disaster. Because I'm going to continue to say their names, Amber Nicole Thurman and Adriana Smith. They should be here. But these women and Black people, we have always been told that, hey, no, you can't get it here. You can't get this health care here. That's why I voted for Kamala. Because, see, she wouldn't have done this. They capped insulin at $35. All the more reason she would have made an excellent president. But the first thing y'all saw was vagina, and y'all saw Black. Y'all saw a woman, y'all saw a black woman, and y'all said, no, I can't vote for that. I'm gonna vote for the orange piggy looking motherfucker. And that y'all did. Congratulations, because 320 objectives have been complete. Project 2025, 53% of it is complete. So thank you, white voters, and to some of our own that hate us trans people, that hate us queer people so bad. Y'all suffering too. And especially to the ones that are on those particular red pill male spaces. Fuck y'all too. It's up with all of y'all, and including the two that's close in our circle as well too. I see you, and now I know how to handle you accordingly because of how you think. It's conservative. I don't fuck with conservatives and Republicans, and I'm gonna say that time and time again. I don't. I don't like y'all motherfuckers because y'all are the reason why we're deep in this shit right now. I don't know how long it's gonna take us to get past Trumpism, because that's what it is. But we got a hell of a mess to clean up, and it ain't just gonna happen on November 3rd. It's gonna take all of us. Numbers too big to rig. Make sure you're registered to vote. Get out and vote. Check your voter registration, because his new rules that he would pass would purge you off of the roads. They did it back last year in 2024, where voters were purged off of the roads. So, better figure it out. Get yourself registered to vote if you are not, so that we can get back to a sense of normalcy. But we're still not going to glaze over white supremacy. We're still not going to glaze over the Confederacy that's alive and living in this country. I showed y'all the flags on the old police station. What more proof do you need? They're wanting to bring back reading the Bibles in the classrooms, the 10 Commandments, and half of y'all motherfuckers don't follow the 10 Commandments. How hypocritical. The hypocrisy. You cheat on your wives with porn stars. You're in the Epstein files, and y'all are covering up the biggest political scandal in American history. Donald Trump is connected to Jeffrey Epstein. There's no hiding that. There's no ducking and dodging and redacting, because his ass is all up and through it. Stop playing in our faces. But me existing, my transness is a gay agenda. But let's talk about the PDF agenda. You got a fucking pedophile in the White House, a convicted felon. No, I will not respect the president. And nobody else should either. But if you voted for him, you're a piece of shit too. If you're conservative and you think the way you think, saying, I don't believe in abortion, and Jasmine Crockett is taking money from AIPAC. No, she's not. That's a lie. And when you put that lie out there, that tells me I need to know about you right there. I don't fuck with you. I love you from afar, but if your views are conservative, and if you on the in the in-between center where it's like, you know, like Brian Kemp or Charlamagne the God or anybody, Stephen A. Smith, anybody who's critical of Kamala, but not critical of this fascist that's in the White House, this Nazi. See what time it is. 7:33. The stores will be open in a minute. But yeah, don't call out one and not call out the other. Call his ass out too. And I will be back July 3rd and 2nd. I told y'all it's going to be a problem when I come back. Because boy, do I have a lot to say in my opening monologue for when I return for the show. But I will chat with y'all then, Fashion Dolls. I want y'all to enjoy y'all Sunday. Enjoy y'all's reset Sunday. Recharge. We'll be heading into July. Hopefully we get some good news. I'm not giving up. We're going to make this work. We're going to do it. I'm going to try to do 4 shows a day, but I'm not going to overwhelm myself because we're still looking for a house. And with him refusing to sign the Housing Affordability Act, you are now seeing what the impact of what that would do. Because there's barely anything. We're trying to find something close to home and not move out. But yes, I'll keep y'all posted and updated on that. But I will be back with more interviews. Stay tuned, stay woke, stay vigilant, and I love y'all.